I want to welcome you all to our most popular meeting of the year. It's our Summer Opportunities Forum because I know everybody's already trying to schedule their summers and get going. I know I am. I know we have Camp Fox registration next week, and my kid wants to be a CIT, so we're hoping everything works out for him. We want to welcome you here and thank you so much to our presenters for being here tonight. We really, really appreciate your time. I know it's right in the dinner time and probably a lot of people are making dinner, but I know you're having to delay or eat early. So I so appreciate all of your time here. So once again, we are recording, so this will be put on our YouTube page. If you miss anything or you have any questions, you can always reply to the Zoom invite. We can answer your questions. But hopefully tonight we'll give you a pretty good overview of what's happening in and around South Pasadena High School this summer. So I'm going to turn it over to our fearless leader, Principal Eldred.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for being here. Thank you to our amazing PTSA for putting this on every year like they do. Super helpful to be able to get all the information you need for the summer all in one place. So let's start with the importance of downtime in the summer. I know that students are dying to take classes at PCC and summer school and stuff like that. But I just want to put in a plug for a little bit of sensibility and allowing your students some time to power down and be able to enjoy their summer with their friends and their family, to be able to travel with you or to get a job or to do nothing and just wake up late and lay on the couch and eat cereal and watch Love Boat, which is what I used to do in the 80s. Anybody remember Love Boat? I might be showing my age. But at any rate, you would be surprised. We see your stressed out kids more hours during the day maybe than you do. And frequently we find ourselves trying to find ways to help them. And one of the things we're always trying to impress upon them is to make time for themselves. And summer is a great opportunity to do that. Just a heads up that during the last couple weeks of July 21 to August 1, the campus will be closed. Nothing will be taking place on campus except for deep cleaning to get ready for students and staff arrival when school begins. The office will be open-ish. People do take vacations, and sometimes we might have 3 of the ladies in the office. Sometimes it might be 1. Summer is a time when people take the opportunity to do things for themselves. Run errands, see family, adjust their hours accordingly. So I would just ask you to be patient. The phone will always be answered when someone is there, and the door will always be opened when someone is there. But just understand that it is downtime for our staff as well. Our registration and orientation weeks are going to be the first week of August tentatively. I put tentatively just in case something changes, but more than likely it's going to be the week of August 4th. So just understand that these are the days when students come to pick up their course requests, to grab their books, to walk campus if they're 9th graders for the first time, and to generally get themselves ready for the start of the school year, which also includes our freshman orientation as well. First day of school is August 13. I think that's a Wednesday last time I looked, or maybe a Tuesday, but I think it's a Wednesday. At either rate, we're starting on August 13, whether the kids like it or not. And lastly, very important, something that we like to impress upon our parents, especially our new parents. The way communication works at the high school level is never forget that we are trying to build in resiliency with our kids and teach them to advocate for themselves. It's an adult skill that they're going to need as they get older. So we impress upon them, if you have an issue with the teacher, go have a conversation, because that's what adults do. They have conversations with each other. If that doesn't work, then a student can turn to their parent and ask them to step in and have a conversation with the teacher, the parent, and the student and the teacher. If that still does not resolve things, then be sure to reach out to an assistant principal, and they would be happy to sit in and facilitate a meeting for you. But just understand that we do have sort of a process here, and all of it is geared towards making our students more responsible for themselves at the high school level and really more resilient and learning those adult skills that they're going to need when they get out of high school and get a job. And that's all I got.
All that fun
Thank
stuff.
you.
Thank you so much.
You
Now
bet.
we're going to turn it over to one of our assistant principals, Vanessa Blackwood.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. So we're going to talk about community service hours. Students have to earn 45 hours by the time they graduate. So some of our students will begin after they leave 8th grade. So we will accept them from the summer before 9th grade. They have the opportunity to be a camp counselor or maybe work at the Humane Society or something of that nature. Please note that these are nonprofit organizations. You cannot donate to get credit, like no donations, no money is involved. The kids need to work for a nonprofit organization or a place that does not pay their people. So we have a list on our website, the school website, and we give all sorts of different options. Please know that we only take the year. We don't go back on a past year or something like that. So it will expire after a year. So we have community log sheets, community service log sheets in the office. We have them here for printout also, but it's just easy for your kiddos to just come into the office, grab one, take it to their event, get it signed off by their advisors. Parents do not sign off on anything. If your student's part of a club, the club advisor will sign it off for you. If you're at the Humane Society, whoever you're working with, or the camp counseling, the YMCA, somebody like that. So please know that that's just the way that we do things there. So I think that's all I have on community service hours.
Great. Thank you. So now we're going to talk about outside course approval with Chad Bryant, our other assistant principal.
And here I am. So, in addition to all of the amazing programs and courses that are offered through SPEF, more on that later, students are permitted to take a maximum of 3 outside courses through any third-party vendor that is WASC accredited. And it's important to do the due diligence there, and we can support students in pursuing this to make sure that the courses are WASC accredited and they are UC A through G approved so that there are no issues with adding courses to transcripts. A couple of rules and regulations around this that I wanted to share with you. Prior approval for all of these courses is always recommended, and that's mostly to give us an opportunity to vet these courses and make sure that they are permissible based upon our requirements. The course approval process really begins with a student's counselor or with me. On our school website, we have a link to the form that you can see a snapshot of right in front of you. And students can pursue one of 2 possible pathways for taking these outside courses. They can take them for initial credit, in which case they would like it to be added to their transcript, and it's something generally that is not offered on our campus. The only exception to that is our history courses can be taken outside for credit, civics courses, and a few other courses on a very short list. The other pathway that students may be interested in pursuing is recovering courses outside. And this would be in scenarios where a student has received a D or an F on another course that they took on campus, and they can recover it through an outside institution. And generally speaking, recovery is a virtual asynchronous format to recover the course. So as I mentioned, the form is on the website. Students can stop in, have a conversation with their counselors that can provide the forms. A course description for whatever course or courses will always need to be attached to this form. It gets submitted to me before the course start date for approval. At the end of the course, and the courses need to end by the time our semester ends, so to align with our fall, spring, or summer semesters. Students will have 15 days within which they will be required to submit the transcript from whatever the issuing institution is. That needs to be sent into the registrar, and then we can add it to a student's transcript. One important note about transcript in this case is that outside courses are allowed to be added to a transcript as long as it's following our procedures, but the GPA is not impacted by the grades that students earn in these outside courses. So it's worth considering. But we get a lot of requests for criminal justice courses and language courses that we don't offer on campus, like American Sign Language, Korean, Japanese, etc. So again, basic starting point there for you is just go to your counselor and have a conversation with them, and then we'll initiate the process. And that's it for outside courses.
Fantastic. And thank you for answering one of the questions in the chat was about which kind of courses do people take? So that was great. And just a note, I will get to questions at the end once all of our presenters have presented, but I'm going to just let them pile up in the chat and then we'll get to them after we kind of get through everybody. Now we're going to go back to Miss Blackwood and she's going to talk about summer assignments.
Yes, so luckily for our incoming freshmen, there will be no summer assignments. We do see summer assignments for many of our AP courses, and freshmen do not take AP classes. They don't, the UCs don't offer the GPA bump for freshmen, so they wait till 10th grade. And as you can see here, we have math classes, science classes, AP English, AP languages here, and each of them have summer assignments that are posted on a Google Classroom that is in like a one-stop shop for all of these. So it's really easy for kids to use during the summertime. And then, of course, like when they start returning back to school, they will turn in this paperwork and these assignments that their teachers would like them to do. In the past, our principles of biomedical science, a biomed class, was giving packets over the summer. We no longer do that. Our teachers were able to incorporate it into their year-long program for the biology component there. So yeah, so lots of fun summertime stuff, but this is the best summer for you to just enjoy with your family before you get running on these big hard classes.
Sorry, couldn't get to my audio. Yes, thank you so much. So good to know. Something to remember for any of the incoming parents that when your kid does take that AP class, don't forget that that is a thing, because I have had parents come to me and say, what is this thing about AP class homework we didn't know about? And they know about it, the kids do, but they don't always admit to that. So I think we have CB. I can't see all the people on here. So hopefully we have CB Richards, who is our athletic director, who is going to come up next.
Yes, you do. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can. Thanks, CB.
Okay, great. Thanks for being here and putting this on. This is great information, and excited to get you some information from the Tigers of South Pasadena Athletics. We're having a phenomenal year at the South Pass. We hope to continue that for many years to come, and a lot of your incoming students have a big part of that. So real quick, just about high school athletics. We have basically 3 seasons of sport in high school, but there's only 2 semesters. So there's fall athletics, which is basically August till November. Then we have winter athletics, which kind of coincides with both semesters, the end of one and the beginning of the second. And that runs from November to about February. Right now, we're just entering the CIF playoffs for winter sports. And then we finally have spring sports, which is in the 3rd semester. I'm not going to go over every sport, but there's about 23 different sports that we offer from boys and girls. And there's about, I think it comes out to 53 different levels of sports. We offer frosh soft, freshman, sophomore, freshman in some things, JV almost on every level of every sport, and varsity as obviously for every sport. And so there is a progression for athletes to slowly improve. They don't have to jump right into the fast lane of varsity athletics on their first time in. I think we'll have a couple things up about the website. We'll have a couple things showing the different sports and what you can sign up for. One thing that is needed to play a sport at South Pasadena is every athlete needs, student athletes, that needs to have a physical into South Pasadena. And as we have up here from May 1st into August 31st, there are free physicals, and they are at Extra Urgent Care. And this can be linked on from our school website. When you go on, underneath our athletic registration, I will have there. They will be free at Extra Urgent Care. You just need to have a code from South Pasadena so you can get that free. I'm going to try this next year when I talk to Mr. Eldridge a little bit more about trying to make the physicals mandatory to be in place by the start of school year, which would be the start of next year for all athletes having it in. It would help us very much not having to sit out an athlete that's not cleared because they didn't get it in on time, and then they cannot get an appointment later. Second thing, tryouts. Well, how do I get on these teams, coach? So the way you get on is tryouts. Tryouts are mainly held during summer for the winter and the fall and the winter sports. I will have a website up that's still being played with slightly, that will have all the tryout dates for all the teams, sport by sport, and contact for each of those coaches and information on how to find out more information about tryouts and when it is. Most of the tryouts will be held in the summertime. We have a dead period for CIF. The CIF is that dead period means there's no sports. Sports is quiet during that period, and that will be from June 6th through June. We have June 5th, but June 5th is graduation, I believe. So June 6th through June 20th will be our. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. It is June 6th, 5th through the 19th, and the June 20th would be the first day of activity for summer sports. So that would be the first time we would start fall tryouts. We'll have water polo, football. We'll have take people in, basketball, those type of things. That will be listed on the website as well. You can check out all the details there. A couple things that we talked about earlier: PE credit. In high school, PE credit is associated with after-school team sports. So if they're on one of the classes is volleyball, football, soccer, baseball, they can receive PE credit for those classes. They do not have to take PE. That is a great motivator for some athletes. Making sure you do that. One thing is very important to tell the 8th graders: eligibility for high school sports, academic eligibility is a 2.0. And that even rolls back to their 8th grade final semester. So if they are not eligible in the last semester of a 2.0 from the middle school, then they will not be eligible for the fall at South Pasadena High School. So it's very important that they continue their grades all the way through 8th grade and not just coast towards the end of the year getting ready for high school. Couple other things I did talk about was we have this dead period from the 6th or the 5th to the 19th. And that's a great time to go on vacation and plan different things, because there will be no activities allowed for sports at all, not even meeting or camps or anything. After that period, we do have a good time from the June 20th to about July 20th. You could think of a lot of sports activities happening in that period. Summer school, I believe, ends on July 18th. We will be looking at a possible second Tiger break. I'm not going to make it official, but we're going to look at a Tiger possible break from the week after summer school until August 1st, having a little Tiger break to have a secondary time for student athletes to get away from training and parents to be able to schedule. And we will put that into the school website as well as soon as I have it confirmed. That's about all I have on sports right now. We look forward to seeing you. We have 4 CIF games this week for basketball, 1 basketball game home on Thursday. And we actually have 2 soccer games, probably in the rain. Bring your umbrella. Here on Wednesday, the girls play against Santa Fe in the CIF playoff game at 5 o'clock. The boys play on Thursday at 5 o'clock against La Puente. Hopefully the weather's not as bad as it looks, and we're able to get a good game in. So we hope to see you at some games. Look forward to seeing you next year. My email can be attached here, and I'm happy to reach out and answer any questions everyone has. Go Tigers.
Thank you so much, CB. And if you are have an incoming freshman or someone who just has been at the school and is a new athlete, this is the form. I just put it in the chat. Just fill this interest form out so that the coaches know that you're coming in. So when they start to email the teams about tryouts and everything, that your student is on the list. That's super helpful. Okay, now we're going to move on to Music Boosters, and the president of Music Boosters, Betty Hong, is here to talk to you about them.
Hi, my name is Betty Hong. I'm the parent president of the Music Boosters this year. So I'm just going to give you a really quick overview. It's a fantastic program, tons of opportunities for your student. We have 3 teachers who combined teach the program. Dr. Simonson, who does the marching band, Mr. Orengreff, who does the jazz band and concert and symphonic bands, and Mr. Padron, who handles the orchestra. So the program has marching band, concert symphonic band, jazz, orchestra, color guard, and the winter indoor percussion and color guard lines. So there's a lot going on. And pertaining to the summer, so the marching band and band programs start in the summer. Marching band is required for all students who are in the concert or symphonic band. So the fall marching program is integrated with the fall semester, the curricular program. So these are kind of a parcel that your student would do together. And in preparation for that, the season starts very early, July 28th. This year, there are 2 weeks of band camp. Those 2 dates you see up on your screen, the 28th through the 1st of August, and then August 4th to August 8th. They are all-day programs, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. They are completely free to you. The Music Boosters raises money to cover the costs associated with it. No experience is necessary. And you don't have to register. You just show up, and we register the students there on site on the first day. This is very, very brief. We can provide more details if you have questions. Email that email at the bottom, sphsmusicboosters@gmail.com. The other event that happens in the summer is our the town 4th of July parade. This is the Festival of Balloons parade. Many of you know, famously, right, half the town is in it, half the town is watching it. Middle school and high school players are a big part of the Minuteman Band, which provides the band music for the parade. They will practice for this parade around the last week of June, usually are the practices in the evening. But check our website, which is up on the screen there, and we will update with exactly when those rehearsals are. It's very low key, lots of fun. Parents can play, anyone in the community who plays an instrument can come out and play with us. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And then I guess I will just one final thing about marching band is if your student participates in marching band and takes the concert and symphonic band class that goes along with that during the year, then that marching band activity counts for their PE credit for the fall. So just so you know that they don't have to take that extra kind of PE class, so it helps with their scheduling. All right, I think those are the major highlights for me, and feel free to put questions in the chat. I will handle them there. Yeah.
Great. Thanks so much, Betty. Really appreciate it. Next, we're going to move on to our SPEF people. We have 2 who've graced us with their presence. So we have Grace Kung and Melody Sue. Thanks for being here.
Hi. Hello, my name is Grace Kung and I am this year's SPEF president. My name is Melody Ho and I am the VP of Server Programs. All right, so SPEF, our South Pasadena Educational Foundation. So for over 44 years, we've been offering enrichment programs, including summer school, and we offer them online and in person. We have prep classes for the 9th grade or incoming 9th grade, which includes a semester class like health, and there's so many options we offer. You can also have it, if you have older kids, recovery class and advanced credit classes to move ahead. And a new, starting last year, we'll offer again a college essay workshop for those juniors and seniors who are getting ready to apply for colleges. So this week on Wednesday, about February 12th, the summer school catalog will be coming out, released online on our website. For high school, we will have a summer school parent student info meeting on Google Meet, February 20th at 7 p.m. Oh, there, thank you so much. So that's the information there. We're also accepting questions. So that way our panelists can answer everything you need or want to know about high school, summer school information. Okay, and then you can go back to the slideshow. So registration this year, we've staggered it out. Hopefully it'll work better. So March, so just to let you know, in case you have younger children, March 5th is where we're gonna start with all the elementary registration. And then Thursday, March 6th will be middle school. And then finally Friday, March 7th will be high school registration. That way, because most high schools only register for one class and we didn't want to take the time and energy from the elementary classes, which gets really, really busy because they sign up for many periods of classes. Our summer school dates is like our traditional, you get a week off after school's done, and they begin June 16th and ends July 18th for 5 weeks of summer school. And those are all credited hours and units for your classes. And then FYI, middle school is actually starting the Monday after school ends, and it's 4 weeks from June 9th to July 3rd, because we don't have school on Juneteenth Day, which is June 19th, and of course, 4th of July or Independence Day. We will still continue to offer scholarships or reduced payment if needed. And we also have volunteer opportunities where you can come and help a young person find their classes and stuff like that. So, yeah. So if you have any more questions about high school info meeting, I recommend that you tune in February 20th. And I think that's it really quick.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. I again can't see who's here. Leah Zeiger is supposed to talk about PEP next. Leah, are you here yet? Okay, I'm going to go to Jason Ramos at the YMCA. He's going to tell us about some things going on at the YMCA, and we'll get to Leah. I know she couldn't be here till 6:30, and we got through things a lot quicker than I expected. So we're going to head over to Jason and talk about the YMCA activities.
Awesome. Thanks for having us. My name is Jason Ramos. I'm the executive director for your South Pasadena San Marino YMCA. Our team director is Anna Anger, and I'll put her information in the chat so that you guys can connect with her in the future for questions beyond today. She couldn't get on today, but just wanted to connect with all the summer team programming that we're going to have. So our mission with the YMCA is to strengthen the communities by fostering youth development, healthy living, and social responsibility. So teens obviously fall in a big part of that over the summer. Our goal is to create a safe and supportive space where the teens can come and have some great experiences through different programming. So one of the big things initiative we have, it's called Get Summer. So teens get a free membership to the YMCA for 2 months. Usually starts at the beginning of June and goes through the beginning of August. And so teens can come to the Y, you get them signed up, and then they have full access to our facility. So they can come in, use the go take classes, go swimming, use the pool, use the workout facility. And so that's all part of our Get Summer program. Also during the summer, we offer a variety of different, Christine, if you want to go to the next slide, different programs that, again, our goal is for them to learn a new skill, build confidence, make a difference, find new friends. A lot of times we know this past summer, there were some new high school kids coming in that met other kids in like our guitar class. And then first day of high school, they had some relationships or connections with people. So it wasn't as scary or as new going in for somebody who's brand new to the area, especially. And so we worked with different volunteers that we had connections with. A lot of them were past South Pasadena grads that are in their professional careers. We had someone teaching animation. We had a guitar class. We had drawing fundamentals. And then we also offered yoga, dance, weightlifting. So all variety, all free as part of the Get Summer program. We're looking to bring a lot of those back for this coming summer, which is a lot of fun and a lot of great experience. So they're great, and it's all held out of the YMCA. We also hold teen-only events. We've done game nights and movie nights at the Y. We also do teen lifts where we close the Y to normal members at the end and then open it up just for teens to come and hang out and lift weights and do exercise and just play the music and just have a good time where it's just teens in there. So I think it's a great time for them. So we do that throughout the summer and the year. We also have some other programming, such as our basketball program is for 13 to 15. We have our winter program and then our summer program where they practice once a week and then they play games on Saturday or Sunday. So it's a fundamental development league. If they're not playing in high school, it's a great way to stay connected, keep playing a sport, have fun, and get connected to other kids in the community. Another opportunity we have is our sleepaway camp. We go up to Big Bear for a week, which is an amazing week. And we have a leadership camp that's part of that. And that's for ages 13 to 15. they go up and they do all the fun summer activities, but we sprinkle in and mix in some leadership development with the idea that they can take those things and come back and use them in school and in life. Also prepares them, if they're interested as they move along, to become a CIT, which is a counselor in training, or a counselor when they turn 18 within the program. So it's an awesome summer. So it's July 26th. Signups are happening now. So it's a great opportunity for teams to get away for the week and have a lot of fun. What else did I have? Community service hours. I know we kind of mentioned earlier. So definitely teens can come to the Y and get community service hours, whether it's in our camp program or basketball program, or a variety of other opportunities that they can come and get some service hours as well. So I know there's a lot. Oh, the other great program that we're going to have again this year was a gardening program in partnership with the Huntington Library. So teens got to go over there every once a week for the summer, and get to be behind the scenes and working in one of their gardens there, which is really exclusive and awesome opportunity for the kids to learn about gardening and being at the Huntington. And so it's a lot of great opportunities with the Y. So that's all I have for now. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you so much for coming, Jason. This is Jason's first year here. I met him at another event and was like, hey, or we started chatting and I was like, you should come to our summer thing because you have all these summer programs, and especially the gym membership is like the best thing in the world. My son did it a couple of years ago and it was free. And I was like, this is awesome. So really, really great program. We
Thank
do
you.
have, yeah, thank you. We have Leah Zeiger on, who is our PEP coach. PEP is different from athletics, so that's why she's here to talk about, and not AD Richards, who was here before. But we've got Leah here to talk about PEP.
Hi, everyone. My name's Leah Zeiger, or Coach Leah, and I'm the head PEP coach at South Pasadena High School. As you can see, we have tryouts coming up in April, and then if your student makes it on the team, then they'll be practicing all summer, which is why we're talking about this here. PEP is a year-round sport. It does count as a PE credit, but we do fall somewhere in between athletics and ASB, but it does count for PE. It is actually a 14-month season. So we go from April all the way through June of the next year. So when you try out in April, you are committing all the way through summertime and then the next full school year. Our squads we have flags, song, and yell. So flags is PEP flags. It's not color guard. That's different. That's through our band program. It's the smaller PEP flags. They have 2. Then there's song, which is a more dance focused squad, and then yell, which is like typical cheerleading. They're the squad that stunts. Freshmen can try out for any of those 3 squads. There's a JV squad of all of those. And then they can try out for mascots, which is the only varsity squad that a freshman can try out for. If you are thinking about trying out, you do have to attend the tryout meeting. Both parent and student must attend. It's going to be April 11th, which is a Friday at 6:30 p.m. in the high school cafeteria. If you come and you decide not to try out, that's totally fine. But if you do want to try out, you do have to be there first. So I recommend anyone thinking about it to come to that meeting. I will talk your ear off at that meeting about everything that it means to be on PEP. You'll get a beefy handbook and lots of information. So if you do have questions, you could either wait till then, or you could always email me. Maybe Kristen can send out my email at some point. But it's also, you can find it on the athletics website, on our high school website. Our clinics for tryouts. So after you have that meeting on Friday, then the next week is clinics, Monday through Thursday. They're learning the tryout material. And then we have tryouts on that next Friday, April 18th. These dates are subject to change, but I don't think that they will. However, if you want to just stay super up to date with it, I would recommend following us on Instagram at SPHS PEP, because that's where I will post everything about tryouts. For summertime, we usually have 1 week off per month, likely the first week off each month. But those summer dates exactly will be set by the tryout meeting. So when you get that packet, you will also get a summer schedule. And our camp is July 24th to 27th. It's a camp in Riverside. So we are staying the night for 2 nights out in Riverside. For the practices during the summertime, all the practices are mandatory. However, I always get students asking me, oh, we already had plans to do X, Y, and Z. It's not a reason not to try out. I try to be as accommodating as possible and compromise. I know that summer can be a really busy time. And if you have time to take vacation, then you might not get choice of which week you want to take vacation. And I totally get it, especially for incoming freshmen who haven't been on PEP yet, and maybe didn't know ahead of time what our season was going to look like. So I'm always just encouraging people to talk to me one-on-one if you've got a specific concern about summertime practices. But we will be practicing throughout the entire summer. We have a lot of material to learn before we get started with football season and assemblies in the next year. And I think that's my whole spiel. Oh, I see some questions.
Yeah.
If you do PEP, can you still take a sport? Yes, it depends on the sport. Some are easier than others to do with PEP. A lot of times, winter and spring sports are easier because when we're done cheering for basketball, we have after school time availability. So a lot of our athletes do soccer or softball, and those don't tend to have too many issues. I always just ask for working with me, and that the other coach needs to be able to work with me too. So a lot of times if we've got an athlete who maybe does cheer at a gym or does ice skating at a rink or something else outside of the school, it can be harder for us all to work together. So it's more so a matter of making sure that all parties can compromise. And then if it's doing another sport on campus, we're usually able to compromise. Students often do PEP and dance or PEP and drama. A lot of those students are interested in all of those things. When I was in high school, at the high school, I did PEP and dance, so it's totally possible. And when do they find out if they make PEP? They will find out the night of tryouts. Usually takes about 2 hours, and the list is up. And if you have any other questions, I can put my email right there. So you can go ahead and email me, and then our Instagram.
Thank you. I will add those to the PDF too that I sent out earlier.
Great.
Anything that I didn't put in the PDF, I've been taking notes. There's a few things that were missed that I will put in that PDF with all the different links, and that will get sent out with the video later this week. So thank you so much. I'm so glad you could come.
Yeah,
That was really
no
good.
problem. Nice to meet y'all.
Yeah. Okay, so a lot of the questions, which is awesome, have been answered in the chat. So thank you to all of my presenters who've been doing that in the chat. So I'm just going to scroll through and see if there are any that got missed. In case girls volleyball does have a 9th grade team. They usually have a varsity, JV, and a lot of times they still have a fresh soft because Ivy Chu, who's been the volleyball coach for the last few years, likes to make sure she has lots of teams so everybody can play. So that's been great. There's a question about ninth grade honors English option, which isn't a summer thing, but we're doing, there is no 9th grade honors English. CB, if my child misses part of the tryouts for cross country, are they still able to join or will they have to wait again for next year? Hopefully he's still here.
So what usually happens for athletics is they have an initial and then they have like a makeup tryout. So if they try out a little bit like during the summertime and then something didn't work out, maybe like the first week of school, they'll have a makeup tryout. It's usually just a few kids at a time. Also having to do with the honors program, their 9th grade does not do honors. It's not accepted on transcripts. It's not the 8 through G portal does not have honors for any 9th grade class, just so you know.
Coach Riches, did I hear you?
Yes. Vanessa summed it up really well. We always like the athletes to try to make the tryouts, but we understand there's vacation and things planned. And so we just always, as Mr. Elder said earlier, communication and protocol, we ask the student to start to become a young person and communicate to the coach that they're going to be away. And they can do that by emailing the coach. All the information will be online for each coach, each sport. They can contact them and let them know I'm going to be out this time, but I'll be back at insert time, and the coach will set up a tryout for them at that time. We don't want to discourage anyone from changing huge plans just because they can't make the one tryout date. So we do have some backups and some ways they could try out.
Great. I have a few more questions for you.
Sure.
Where online do they put in the physical? It's under is that the home campus link?
Yes. So the physical will be put in once they do the physical. It will be put in online through home campus. It's digitally put in, so it's either a photo or you can scan it in. I have asked, just so you know, I did talk to Extra Urgent Care about maybe having them be able to digitize the form at Extra Urgent Care and being able to automatically put it in when they're done. They're looking into that, so that could be a nice added feature for us for this year, for at least for Extra Urgent Care.
That'd be great. They're really great. They're easy to get into. They do them for free. It was really a nice, easy one to do, and you didn't have to like run around trying to find a pediatrician who would actually take you. So it was pretty great. So the form to complete for a physician is on the athletics website. So you just go to SPHStigers.org, sorry, and then there's an athletics pull down. And once you go to that athletics page, and it's going to be really new and even better soon, but there's a side, and you can find all the stuff that you need to know about those forms on there. So time frame for a physical: would a March 2025 physical count towards a school year 25-26 sport?
Yes, it would count towards, it's good for 12 months. So whenever you take it, it's good for 12 months from that point. So March 2025 is good till March 2026.
So if you're playing a spring sport and you're playing into April, you need another
Yes,
one.
you would have to redo a physical at some point. We get about a 2-week notice when they're about to expire, or probably a month notice, and we let the parent know they need to update the physical. It is not one time throughout 4 years. It is annually every year. So every year you have to redo the physical for every sport, but just one time a year. So as long as you have it done, like I said, if we implement it every school year, just have it done during the summer and you should be good. On that quick note, I did forget one thing: tryouts for the spring sports. Most of those tryouts for like track and boys tennis, those are going to happen in the fall. They won't happen over summer. That will be on the website as well. But I did have some people text me on the side asking about that. So spring sports, most of those tryouts will happen in December or November of next year.
Okay, and when do you think the summer tryouts will all be kind of wrapped up?
I actually have it down as February 24th. I should have it all up there. So if you check back on the spring on the calendar through the school website, and there's a link to athletic registration, there's one that says summer activities, and that one will have that details up there. Probably I'd say by March for sure, but I'm trying to get it all up by February 24th.
Okay. And I do the newsletter for the PTSA, so I will be kind of keeping an eye on that as well for everybody. So there is a boosters newsletter and there's a PTSA newsletter. If you go to our websites, you can join those, you can subscribe to those newsletters. So if you want to start getting that information, I know it was really great getting some of that information when I was in middle school, especially, but we will be updating those things on both of those newsletters as well. So, and it's always great to, follow the Instagrams. There's a lot of Instagrams in high school. So find the athletics and the boosters one and follow those, and they'll probably be on there as well. So that's great. Okay, let me. Do you already have a date for tryouts for cross country? Do you have any of the dates ready tonight?
Yes, we have a couple of them. So for the fall sports, mainly cross country, you can look at cross country, and I'll say cross country and football. Those two are big for fall, and those are basically, you can look at June 20th, that first day of sports. Both of those sports take everybody. There's not really a tryout. A tryout is coming to the team, being on the team, and staying active and positive on the team, and you will make both of those teams without being cut. So both cross country and football work that way. We encourage athletes to come out and find them a spot on the team as long as they're staying positive teammates. The other two sports in the fall that are big are girls volleyball and boys water polo. Those two tryouts, boys water polo will happen in around that same week, June 23rd week to June 30th. Girls water polo may jump in there as well. Actually, girls tennis will be at that same week, June 20th to June 23rd to June 30th. Girls tennis, and I believe girls golf will be in August for girls golf.
Great. There's a question here for you. Can you do both football and cross country at the same time?
That has never been done, I believe, but it would have to be something work with the coaches. I would probably say no to that, especially not a freshman. Very few athletes can do two sports in the same season. It is allowable by CIF, but you'd have to be a high level athlete and academic ways to do that. I would caution that freshmen trying to do that. So I would say no to that. I would say pick one, focus on that, and focus on your academics.
Okay. Are the volleyball tryout dates set? They're not right now, right?
Volleyball trial dates are not set at this time. We will have that up on the website soon.
Yeah, so the
So
24th,
I would check
look
back.
for the 24th, and they usually do a camp beforehand, correct?
Yeah, there will be a camp and some tryout dates, and there's usually a camp in mid July, followed by a tryout after that.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, unless he just mentioned it, there are a lot of questions about when these tryouts are, but unless he just mentioned it, we don't know the dates yet. So February 24th is when you want to start looking back at the website for those information. Things like baseball's not until later, but sometimes they'll do it earlier. I'm just seeing all these notes, but he's trying. I've been, it's one of those things. CB's working so hard because of the fires. Everything was rescheduled at school for like a couple weeks because they couldn't
We're
practice.
almost there.
And he's been trying to get this together. We did delay to even get some of the dates for tonight, but a couple more weeks, and then we should have all the dates for everybody to finish.
Yeah, so if you can check back by February 24th on that website, it's actually better to check the website anyway than me giving it to you, because it'll also give you the coach's contact information, and you can reach out to the coach directly. We do have a couple that have come in, but I didn't want to give a couple and not all the rest. I'll have them all pulled in by the 24th and have it up on the website.
Okay. And just a reminder, for sure, you can take a vacation June 5th to June 19th. So that's really nice to at least know that period of time, to know you for sure can do something if you're playing a fall sport. So
Definitely.
Okay. Then let's see if I have some other ones here. Okay, I'm going to cover a few other things. They're going to talk about the work permit. So I am going to, once we're done with the questions for our presenters, I'm going to start presenting some things. So I will cover work permits in just a second. I'm just triple checking. Oh, so this is either for SPEF or one of our assistant principals. Is there a math bridging class this summer to get into Math 2+ as a freshman if currently in Math 8 honors?
Yes, so let's see. We have a math bridge class during the summer. If your student is interested in taking a placement test, that happens in, I think we decided April 8th, the week of April 18th, something like that, at the high school. So yes, we will have those things.
Awesome. Thank you. One more for Coach Richards, and then I'm going to go on to the rest of the presentation. What teams might have practices during the summer, even if they're not a fall? So all fall sports would have practices, but are there any winter sports or spring sports that would?
Correct. Boys basketball sometimes has a little tournament that they run, and they do a little bit in late June, early July. So boys basketball, I said, would sometimes be in there. There's also a secondary tryout for boys basketball, and so they'll actually have a tryout in August as well too, if you missed that. But for fall sports, I would say football and basketball, football and girls volleyball and cross country are all going pretty good, as well as boys water polo. Tennis will have a little bit, and so will girls golf. That's girls tennis. And then for the winter sports, basketball, usually girls basketball has a little bit going on, but not a ton during summer. And soccer doesn't have a lot going on. They'll have some camps and some tryouts, but there's not a lot this year. I think we will have a camp for the boys. The coaches were talking about having a training camp, so that could be a possibility this year. Again, that's optional. It's not mandatory to be on the team, but it's just an option for the kids to be able to train a little bit during summer.
Awesome. Thank you so much. A couple other things that I just want to tell people about for summer. Our librarian always likes us to talk about the library opportunities. There's a teen summer reading program at the South Pasadena Library. You can usually volunteer to help with summer reading programs, so another volunteer opportunity. There are free audiobooks using Sync that usually come up in late April that you can do, and other the library summer reading programs in LA, San Marino, South Pasadena. So if your kid loves to read, lots of places they can do stuff there. Our counselors have a site. I noticed somebody asked something about internships. There used to be an internship program at the school. It is no longer a formal program, but on our counselor's site, they do list some internship programs. And I also have a couple on my PDF that we found. But sometimes students can do internships. I recommend you look very soon if you haven't looked already, because I do know someone who tried to get an internship for their child a year or two ago, and by the time they looked, they were, the dates were already taken and they didn't get to apply. So that was a real bummer for them. But on the counselor site, which you can get to at SPHS Tigers, students, counselors, and then look at enrichment summer programs, they have local and national programs that you can do for the summer, programs abroad. So they have a lot of ideas of things you can do in the summer as well. In terms of performing arts, if your student loves performing arts, these are a bunch of different, I guess that's not all performing arts, sorry, but performing arts and other arts. These are a bunch of different places that are around town. If you haven't heard of them already, they're great. My oldest went to Loxa, so their summer arts conservatory, I highly recommend. But I also know that some of these other ones are just really great places to take some art classes. Also, we found some arts and sciences. There's a Da Vinci camp at Caltech. There's the Bridge Undergraduate Science Junior Bugs camp at USC, and the ID Tech camp at Caltech. So some other ones that look absolutely amazing. Usually I would talk about how the Westridge School for Girls has a summer fair, but because of the fires, they weren't able to do it in person this year. But there's a link on the PDF I sent out that has all of the people who are going to come and by age group. So you can look at that for opportunities as well. It has not only like camps, counseling possibilities, but also some volunteer opportunities on there as well. So I was looking at that earlier today. So even though you can't go in person, still a lot of great information, and Westridge always allows anybody to come to their summer fair, which I think is pretty awesome. We just do this for an hour. They put a whole thing together, so bless them. Another one is getting a job. I don't know about you, but I've been looking recently. Jersey Mike's was hiring, Chipotle was hiring. I think I saw one more. So they're definitely, somebody just got a job at McDonald's, we know. So there's definitely places for these kids to work if they want to work. It's a great opportunity. If they are under 18, they need to get a work permit. So also if they're working with food, a lot of times you have to get like a certificate, like food service certification, which is basically like $25 or something to say you take a quick course to say you understand how to handle food. But to get a work permit, we have someone at the school, Miss Strain, and they can email her at this email. If it's in the summer, you have to contact Debbie Ferris, who's in the office. Sometimes in the summer, if they have to get it done, like Mr. Eldred said, there's not always someone in the office. There's a lot of times someone in the office, but it's not always the easiest to get a hold of someone. So if your student wants to get a job, hopefully they'll get it before school ends so they can get their permit before school ends, because that's the easiest thing to do. I have a question. What's the youngest age they can work? 14 legally, but a lot of places with my son, I've realized won't really look at you until you're 16. I do know someone who got a job at 15 at Pizza in San Marino. So she was able to get the job at 15. They decided to hire her, which was great because she had a lot of availability. So I worked when I was 14, and kids today don't work as much. So it's funny to me, but at least 14. I think the hours are less if you're 14 or 15 that you can work, but once you're 16, you can work more hours. So the requirements for work permits are you have to have good attendance, a GPA of 2.0 or higher, and no Fs in academic classes. So there are requirements to allow them to work. Some other ideas for summer jobs: camp counselor, assistant coach, tutor, lifeguard if your kid is over 16. Lifeguard is a really lucrative job, although food service these days is really lucrative because they upped all the minimum wages for food services. So those are great. Usher at a theater, the movie theater is always looking for people in the summer. All of these. So just some suggestions for you. And then city rec and aquatic centers have lots of things for kids to do during the summer. That is one place you could take a lifeguarding class. I know like I'm pushing lifeguarding, but like LA is always looking for people to staff their pools. I almost always see stuff come out in the summer because I'm on their mailing list about we're desperate for lifeguards. So it's a really, really good one. But again, some other things going on around town and not just our rec center, but other ones around. So if ours doesn't have something you want to do, look at another one. Or just go to the YMCA because they always have stuff to do. Summer schooling, not only are there summer school opportunities through SPEF, but you can also they can take a class at PCC or Glendale Community College or somewhere like that. Vecinos de South Pasadena put together a video, which is also in the PDF, of how you can possibly get free opportunities for summer school as well. So especially if you can't pay for some of those opportunities, they put together this great video on how to find some other opportunities there. Okay, that's all I have. So I'm going to look back at the questions. There was a question about summer school schedule, which they put in here. So it is 5 weeks. I don't think we talked about this. If your student wants to take health, SPEF has done a great job, I want to say, in the last couple of years, because health used to be something you had to take. It's only a semester long class, and they used to make you be here for 5 weeks of summer to take this half-day class. And it was so frustrating. And so what they so amazingly did is a couple things. One is they put it online, so you can take an online version, which, you know, you don't get as much on the online version, personally, I think. But they also did it so you can do it in 2.5 weeks, or the first 2.5 weeks of summer school, or the second 2.5 weeks of summer school. And that's so nice because then you know you're only here for those 2.5 weeks and it's a full day class instead of a half day class. And your student just gets through it and it's great. And my kids, one of them took the online class, one of them took the in-person class. You know, the best part about the in-person class, at least when he took it, is you get the beer goggles. And so they put these beer goggles on you and you get to like drive this little trike around to see what it's like. And you know, it was fun and it was interesting because they made it very personable to all the kids and made it funny, but made it so you really learned what you were doing. So that was pretty cool. So there we go. There's a question about how we can track tutoring at school. I don't understand that question. If you want to unmute and ask that question or maybe write some more stuff about that, please do.
Yeah, sorry,
yeah.
This is Cham. I wanted to find out, there is the opportunity for kids to tutor at school for volunteer hours. So how do we track the hours for that? Thank you.
Yeah, I could help you with that. So yes, they could get volunteer hours. They would join, it's like a club, it's called Veritas, and it's after school, Monday through Thursday, like right after school for about an hour. And they have an advisor and they would sign the hours for them, for your student.
Thank you.
There's some great opportunities there. Let's see. Okay. SPEF is leaving. That's fine. They have a SPEF meeting. That's one of the reasons we did this 6 to 7 instead of later, because we knew they had to jump off too. So we are at 7:01. So I don't have any more questions. So I'm going to let us all go. But I want to thank you all so much for being here. Again, we'll have the video up by the end of the week. We'll send it out to the middle school and I'll put it in the PTSA newsletter and on our PTSA website. If you don't see it in your newsletters, just SPHS PTSA YouTube, go look there. All of our old forums are there and the new one will be there as well. So you can always see anything we've done in the last, you know, since COVID really, because everything's online since then. So we have everything up there and you can see it all there. So thank you all so much for being here. Presenters, thank you so much for your time. I cannot thank you enough. It's so informative, this meeting. Really appreciate you. Have a great night.